Hex key L-wrenches are designed to turn screws and bolts that would otherwise be difficult to reach. They have a ball-shaped hexagonal head that fits neatly into the sockets of threaded fasteners to tighten or unscrew them. The long arm of these L-shaped wrenches also extends the user's reach into tight spots. Hex key L-wrenches often come in sets to provide a tool to suit almost any size of socket. Production starts with 4-meter-long steel bars formed to a hexagonal profile. A short piece is first tested to confirm the steel is suitably hard yet elastic. A diamond-tipped tool presses an indentation into another piece. The depth it reaches is another measure of the steel's hardness. If the steel passes all the tests, the 4-meter-long bars are cut into smaller lengths, using a die cutter with a hexagonal profile to prevent any distortion of the shape. Each steel piece is then shaped in a lathe, where a computerized tool contours the end. This is the steel before and after contouring. Another computer-controlled lathe then creates a spherical shape in the end of the piece that retains the hexagonal angles. An automatic loader transfers the steel pieces to a spiraled copper heating element. The element heats a specific spot on the piece to 600 degrees Celsius to soften it. A mechanized tool then bends the steel at this softened point to give it an L shape. The hex key L wrenches are beginning to take shape. The next step is to heat treat the wrenches to make the steel even harder. The parts are first fired in a furnace before being quenched in oil and then heated in a second furnace at a slightly lower temperature. The heat treatment strengthens the steel but leaves a residue. A wash followed by sandblasting cleans them up, but doesn't remove the tarnished look. So to tackle this, the pieces are placed in a vibrating machine with ceramic stones and polishing solution. This cleans and brightens the steel. A magnetic conveyor extracts the wrenches from the mix and transfers them to a revolving drum. Here they bounce around with grains of corn, which absorb any residual moisture from the polishing process. The finish may be gleaming, but the wrenches are not yet complete. Held on racks, they're now dipped into separate nickel and chrome baths. The rack delivers an electrical charge to the parts, which attracts the nickel and chrome. The metals coat the wrenches for a shiny, rust-proof finish. Next, a device spins each wrench in front of a sensor. The sensor detects whether the wrench's long arm is perfectly straight. If necessary, the steel can be straightened until it makes the grade. The wrenches are now ready for a spray of powder coat. This will provide a durable finish, while the colour will indicate the wrench's size. After powder coating, a robot transfers the wrenches to a printing station. A mechanized tool aligns the wrenches before another robot takes over. This places each wrench under a printing pad, which stamps on brand information and a serial number. The robot then retrieves the wrench and places it on a conveyor. Some of the finished wrenches are randomly tested to check their size. If the ends correctly fit the holes of a gauge, the production run is approved. The plastic holders for the wrenches are then constructed. This machine melts and molds plastic under pressure to produce them in seconds. Once removed from the machine, they're deposited in a bin. Two of the holders are then placed under a laser. Once the protective shield has been lowered, the laser etches company information onto the plastic. The color-coded wrenches can now be inserted into the correct slots in the holders. And that completes this set of hex key L wrenches, a useful and sometimes indispensable tool. You could say They're key to doing a decent job.